have the skill shot stuns and the Sand King sets up for the point target. So, you know, it usually is a nice matchup, but the AM just fits it perfectly here.
And Cuckoo, he should be going for the Burrow Strike at level 1. You know, you've got a Lina skilled together with you, and if you were to go the Sandstorm, it just feels way too passive to me, especially against, you know, this Chen lane where, you know, he's ended up going for the Ring of Regen anyway on the Anti-Mage, but you've also got the Headdress on the Chen. He's got the Holy Persuasion skilled for now instead of the Divine Favor, but as soon as that level 2 is hit, it doesn't feel like there's anything that Geek Fam are going to be able to do to stop him.
Yeah, it's just going to be an immense amount of regen down bot, and if they can kind of trade early on, be able to kind of suffice the lane and get a little bit of last hits. But actually, in mid lane we got the matchup of Armel versus Carl, some of the incredibly high mechanical mid lane players right now throughout the Southeast Asia region, and we're going to see them battling it out here. Puck's actually got a bit better of a damage advantage at the moment.
With the recent resurgence of the Aghanim Scepter coming through for the Lesh, people want to skill up that Lightning Storm ASAP to get that the first item. But you've got a Chen, so you want to make sure your Edict is the one that you're actually maxing here. And, you know, skilling that together with the Split Earth means that you get a pick-off and you can immediately transition that into a tower. You're more worried about objective control right now as opposed to any sort of hero damage, because you got plenty.
Well, here comes the emphasis, though, for the first power runes. It looks like Zephyr's going to be able to find the invis down bots. Unfortunately, both Carl and Armel aren't going to get a refill in the bottle. We'll see they're contesting around the next bounty runes as well. It looks like Febi's going to be a bit of a nuisance here and try and take the small camp away from Carl, although they are kind of hunting him. With this invis from Zephyr, he's going to be able to land the Light Strike Array. Now Febi's going to attempt the TP up, but look at the damage coming through. It's enough to secure first blood. Zephyr will pick it up.
Nicely done, and most times the mid would be like, man, my support just griefing my kills, but no. If you can get a pos for Lina that money, you're very happy with it. As I say that they're just getting more and more harass here onto Chian. They're going to have to be forced to back off, so a little bit of a misplay there, not catching out Zephyr and having the stun connect onto him. But it's not going to be disastrous like it could have been. But it just shows the importance of being switched on at every single point in time, because if that Sand King was able to spot out that that camp that had been stacked up, this is an entirely different laning phase that we would have seen.
I'd see top lane. KP actually might be in trouble with the Tempest double. One charge just going to get him out of the threshold. Although the Flux, never mind, he'll still fall. Jackie going to claim their second kill of the game. Nicely done, and now he's got a lane that's pushing it as well, so he'll do a little bit. Yeah, some of the better neutral items that TNC would have been able to get in. Now here comes the push. They get that T1 tower top and linking up mid with the second catapult wave. It will keep it alive. Edict's on cooldown though, unfortunately. They've already wasted that usage. Oh, coil, unfortunately off the mark there from Carl, and you see the rotations coming through, so T1 really wanted to try and defend that tower, and might leave Cuckoo a bit vulnerable down bot. Rupture's able to set up. Looks like he's just got to stand his ground here. Nothing he can really do through all the AoE. Cuckoo will fall.
Radiant structures are fortified.
To mid though, not done just yet. Carl, all forwards, going to be able to catch up. Febi, Dims is pretty weak as well. He's got the Rolling Thunder with the Less Strike coming over if they want to try and offer some defense here, because he's got a decent amount of mana to be able to utilize as well from Almel. Connects the Sun, Undying, so has the Tombstone to be able to drop as well if he wants to do so before the death. It looks like he's going to end up falling. So a 1-for-1, at least with the supports dropping at the mid lane here. And meanwhile, you just see both the cores continuing to farm. You brought up the potential that this is going to be probably a 4v4 almost, getting that stun as well. So you see how awkward it is for them to be able to start. And actually Tim's, he's swashbuckling up aggressively on the high ground there. Gonna end up falling and pays the price. Is now Cuckoo charging up the ulti. They get the coil combined up with this Hand of Gods, can give him a little bit of health back. And now even the Anti-Mage showing up as well. They're able to keep Armel alive, and they're going to try and look to turn. They haven't dealt with the Tombstone just yet. Nicely done from Carl, getting out a Waning Rift on top of 3. But he could be in trouble, and they still have this Mana Void as well. He's got a decent amount of mana to be able to utilize, so it's not going to bring him down from 4 to 0. But Chian is going to be able to blink forward and claim that kill. Double for the Anti-Mage showing up early, whereas we see still this Arc Warden continuing to farm. So a good fight there from TNC as they're going to try and look to transition this into the T1 tower mid as well.
He's going to be able to take all of this creep wave as well. He's kept the siege creep alive too, but yeah, just feeling a little bit too concerned to continue fighting into it. For Jackie, all that time spent farming means that he's almost picked up his boots of travel. So He's going to be looking to split push a whole lot more. The first 15 minutes you'd have to say has belonged to TNC, but the fact that they've only lost the tier 1 towers and denied a couple of them.
Up with that tier 2 mid and try and head to top. John might be in trouble here. He's going to pop the smoke. Blinking to where he's got vision at the moment. He might be in trouble. He's still got the counter spell, but he's unable to get out of the core now. They're going to be able to get straight on top of him with Cuckoo. Unfortunately, just playing a little bit too far pushed forward here. Let's see what TNC want to do. They're grouped up. They've got a nice ward in the lane as well. They overstep the mark here by this outpost. They might be able to find a kill. Armel's also got the invis rune, so he's hunting.
Man, that aggressive blink forward was a little bit surprising, to be honest. You know, the Leshrac had just TP'd out. I think.
Armel, gotta be careful. He's gonna be able to find Whitemon on this Tombstone. Still in the high gun. They're gonna come over. Cuckoo with the epi finds a kill on top of the Bloodseeker. Tim's gonna try and run forward, and they got a little bit too late. Unfortunately, Armel's still dishing out an immense amount of damage, but it looks like Carl's gonna try and clean up with the blink forward. He's got the orb back up in a couple of seconds. No stun coming through at the moment, but it looks like TNC looking to full retreat out of this. Where's the fall control though? Zephyr's going to find it with the LSA. Febby just has to TP out. Tim's unfortunately unable to get the swashbuckle out thanks to the silence. So nicely done from T1. They kind of punish that over-aggressive double back there from TNC.
I mean, it's a 2-for-2 trade at the end of the day.
And how do you find the initiation though? It's just going to be so awkward. Armel's going to move forward with the Atos, but a quick blink away. Now Zephyr's going to be the target there if Armel can get in range for the slow. Even drop the Tombstone because now with the wraparound, Whitemon is very far pushed up in the front line, but now Carl, beautiful coil with the stance. But where's the follow-up damage at the moment? Chen could be in trouble. The Dragon Slave not enough. Cuckoo's going to miss out on the bow strike as well. Now on top of the backline, Qian, they get the clumsy net, but there's no more follow-up. And now Armel's actually in trouble. Laguna Blade's going to be able to cut him down. Tim's with the Rolling Thunder, going to try and disrupt the backline. They found the Arc, this incredibly important target here. Qian, though, stunned up. Beautifully done from Zephyr. Can they keep the Arc Warden alive, though? The Anti-Mage has to try and blink to disengage, but Carl's going to be able to follow up. He's got the blink back up pretty shortly here for the Anti-Mage. Can he stay alive with the magic resistance? One more waning grip into the right click. As Dire, they only lose one hero. What an incredible... And now they're going to walk in Roche. They've got the control of the triangle with this ward. Mid's pushed in, which they haven't dealt with, and bot and top are in a pretty even spot at the moment. So this is a great opportunity for the guys on Dire to be able to attempt to take Roche on. And it looks like there's nothing Radiant trying to do it at the moment. They're just getting the farm still on the Anti-Mage, who's actually behind the Puck and the Leshrac. So unfortunate for Qian, really struggling at the moment to keep up. Bebby, they got a couple. I have to try and deal with the jungle, but Whitemon's already set up here. Now it drops the tomb on the high ground. Where's the fold coming through? Dire, they're beelining towards the triangle camp, but it looks like Febby is in trouble here. They'll lose the Chen. Meanwhile, I mean, bot's getting shoved in by the Tempest double, and all the lanes are in an incredibly good spot for Dire. They still got about 2 minutes 40 on the Aegis, and they're actually setting up on top for the Anti-Mates. They find the LSA, now Puck's going to TP in as well. Just look at the damage. All they need is the Lina, and the crits coming through from Jackie. This Aghanim Sweet, who doesn't really have any help in the moment, might honestly have to pop some of the sustain, and he would do both with the mech and the Hand of God. So exactly what you want from T1 to force that out early.
Yeah. Loving it from T1. They just force reactions out of their opponents time after time after time. That's what this Tombstone's for.
Here, actually. Strike down. Armel pops the BKB. If they can disengage him, reset the fight, because Rolling Thunder forward as well. Tim's able to find the connection, but double the coil locks him in place, and it's just going to allow Jackie to go to work. There's no more follow-up. Cuckoo's actually going to try and chase for more here inside the base. He gets the Yule's control and Radiant. I mean, what can you do with the rest of the team here? They're just seeing a couple of heroes die without any assistance, and I mean, it feels like the AM still just not at the stage where he's able to join these fights comfortably.
Paladin Sword is nice, but meanwhile, while you're farming the jungle, your base is going away. I figured maybe he might try and start to push these waves out a little bit, give them some respite against all of the pressure coming through from T1, but they've still got 35 seconds on this Aegis, and they're going to want to use it.
Just back up the high ground they go. See how fast the siege is coming through, and I mean, at least Tim's going to be live in about 10 seconds here. Won't have the Rolling Thunder for another 20. Unfortunately, they don't have a glyph to be able to utilize as well, so this is going to be a lot of objective damage right now inside the base, and TNC is really all up to the Anti-Mage from being able to find the net worth and come back into this game. It feels like Carl. The jump forward, you see the damage, man. If he dropped the coil, Jackie honestly might have been able to find a kill. He still might on Tim's. Pops the Glimmer, so he's going to be okay. But look at the space. They're just dealing with a set of racks at the moment. KP gets the Atos. Aegis is going to tick out here. Jackie's still playing very up forward, but
he wants to use that Tempest double just to take the melee racks. You can tell. But the rest of his team, they've backed off a little bit, so let's see how well he is at listening to his new team.
Top lane.
Option there. Ooh,
They're setting up. They got that sentry on the high ground, so the Glimmer Cape still able to reveal him. So Carl drops the coil. Just this potential puck being everywhere across the map, and Jackie joining them as well. And now they're even going to see Armel pushed up pretty far here. He's got to be careful. Will blink up on the high ground. Still got the BKB, but Kuku's able to find the stun, and now LSA full off. They're just going to be able to bring him down. Doesn't get the BKB off. Not that it really would have done much afterwards. This is... I mean, they're just getting picked off at the moment, and it's really felt like the tale of the past 10 minutes here, where they found so many important pickoffs to really enable them to push down objectives. We see the Chen's going to end up falling as well. Carl just blinking so aggressively. He doesn't give a damn right now. He's got the Dagon picked up, and they're going to try and look to end this as they're inside the base. Jackie trying to deal with the last full set of racks, and I mean, anti-mage, it's time. You got to do something.
Radiant's bottom barracks are under
This is your defense coming through. What can you provide? Armel straight on top of them. Pops the BKB. He's going to find the stun. It connects on top of the Arc Ward, and that's a perfect target. They're able to bring him down, but now with the coil, they're going to try and look to turn. Jackie with the damage. Epi's coming through as well. They drop the hand to go, but is this ain't enough? It looks like the anti-mage just doesn't have the damage along with the less track. Tim's a little bit too late with the Rolling Thunder. And they call it quits as T1 will take game one. Incredibly well played from them.
dire victory.
Yeah, I mean, he finally got the Scotty towards the end of that, and that's what was the key time.